Hi guys, how's it going? It's Michael from GuitarGate again, and welcome back to this Learn the Song series. And I thought I'd do something different this week. I know typically that we go over cover band songs and how to figure out different parts, but I wanted to give you something you could work on solo acoustic that you didn't need accompaniment. Although, if you do watch, Eric Clapton's version of this song live and unplugged, he does have a full band and they crush it. But they do it by supporting him, right, and really laying back. And even though different people take leads, the whole band is very much in a support role. So I'm not going to go too in depth about that, but make sure you go back and check that record out. Now, this song was originally done by Bessie Smith, but I'm doing the Eric Clapton version because that's the one that I think most people know, and they just do a phenomenal job with it. I mean, Eric Clapton is just great at this old blues stuff. And it really is textbook solo acoustic, working through these changes stuff that I think you'll find is very helpful no matter what style music you play. So let's jump right in. This is Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. Now this song is your basic triplet shuffle rhythm. And for those that don't know, all that is a triplet is 3 beats in the space of 1. So if here's your quarter note, right, your triplet is, so triplet, 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 triplet is how you count it, and you just don't play the middle beat. So it's triplet, 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 triplet. So on guitar, you're just going to be strumming that down, up, down, up, down, up, down, triplet, 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 triplet. And you do that the whole song. Now, the chords and the form do not change. There's no verse section, bridge section, whatever, where there's any changes. It's the same the whole way through, which is, standard operating procedure for these old blues tunes. And this song is 4 different pieces. And it's best to learn them as one piece at a time and then put them together, and then you'll have the whole tune. First step is this song is essentially in the world of C major, right? So it starts in C major. You can walk up to it, A, B, C, or you can just start the song just playing C major. And then it modulates to A7 through a secondary dominant. Again, I'm not going to try to get too in the weeds, but through a secondary dominant. That's a dominant chord that is not in the key, but does resolve up a 5th or up a 4th or down a 5th, depending on which way you're going, to its standard resolution point. So that's E7 going to A7. So it's C, E7, A7. And now your E7s, you can do it like this. So it's E7 is just an E major with a D. Or you can do it like this with the pinky. With A7, you can do it your standard open chord like this, or get your G with the pinky. Experiment with this. There's no, we're not playing it note for note off the record. C, E7, A7. That's the first part. So it went from C to A7 is your basic movement. Second part, it goes D minor to A7, back to D minor. Now this is interesting because this makes us think we're in the key of D minor now. Because A7 is a 5 chord, going to a 1, which is D minor. Typically in any key, your 5 would go to your 1 major chord, but it's totally common for your 5 to be dominant and your 1 to be minor. This is harmonic minor, but again, don't think of it like that. Just D minor, A7, D minor. Then the third part goes to F. And now there's usually a walk up there, which you can just do chromatically. E flat, E, F, to your F. And which is cool because this makes sense to our ear because F is the relative major to D minor. So if you're wondering why that sounds good, that's why. They're relative majors and minors, meaning they're the same key. Then it does F sharp diminished. And all you want to do there, okay, We're not going to go crazy theory-wise. All you want to do there is realize that's just F major, and instead of F being your root, it just goes up 1 fret to F sharp, and you get this diminished chord. Now, for those of you that's too hard, because for a lot of people, F is too hard by itself, right? But if you can get that F, but there's no shot you can get that F sharp, if you look at what this is, this F sharp diminished triad, all this is F sharp, A, and C. If you play your F sharp on the first string instead of here, what do you have? That is D7. F sharp diminished true function is to voice D7. If you want to play the full form, you can add that, I guess essentially E flat on the bass, and you get this full diminished shape, which is made up entirely of minor thirds. Anyhow, so you can do F with an F sharp on the bass, or F, D7, and then you get this walk down. So all you're doing is you're landing on A7, and you're walking down chromatically from C, B, B flat, A to A7. Now if you're one of those people that couldn't get that, right, and this is way too hard to get to, and you went to that D7, you can get the walk down if you want right here. C, B, B flat, A, first fret, second string, open second string, third fret, third string, second fret, third string. And that obviously lands on A, so you can get your A7, whichever one you want. And that's the third part, right? And for the final part, it's just D7. And remember, whatever's on the first string is always on the sixth string since they're tuned the same. So you'll see Eric do this a lot, where he'll play that F sharp with his thumb on the bass, sometimes even walk up to it. And then to G7. Because that F sharp is a leading tone, meaning one fret, so a half step below the chord you're going to, leading to G7, which is of course the 5 chord, which gets you back to C. So if you got lost in there, let me show it to you again, and I won't talk as much, right? So you got C, E7, A7, D minor, A7, D minor, walk up to F, F sharp diminished, walk down to A7, D7, F sharp in the bass, G7. And that's Nobody Knows You when you're down and out. It's an awesome tune. Now you can make this as simple or as complicated as you want. If you watch Eric do it, you'll see he does a lot of things to spice this up. For example, he always walks up to the C and then hammers on the rest of the triad. When he goes to the E, he always hammers on that G sharp, grabs the 7th, the D with his pinky, brings it back to C sharp, so he lands on the A7, that's the third of A7, and then he'll jump to get A7 like this with G on top. And he does that because in the second part, he likes to go to the D minor, get the F on top, back to the A7 with the G on top, and back to the D minor with the F. So because he likes that, you know, that kind of sound. You hear him do that almost every time. Again, the walk-ups. Walking up, you know. One more thing. If you've strummed it and you've tried to finger pick it, Also try the flick. I made it in the video before this. Give it a more percussive sound. Just my 2 cents to throw it in there. I've thrown the link in the description if you're curious about that. But that's Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. Learn this tune. It's a great song, and it's a great exercise of working through changes and using those secondary dominants to eventually get back around to your home base. In the next video lesson, I'm going to show you the solo, or at least break down the approach to the solo, which you'll see Eric do, which is a great example of being able to hear the changes in your playing even without accompaniment. So that's going to go up tomorrow. So if you're watching this any day but today, you're going to see the link in the description, and just click that and you can learn the great lead to this. And this is Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. I appreciate you watching this channel, and if you like this lesson series, please subscribe. It helps me a lot. And if you want to see a certain song broken down, drop a hashtag Learn the Song in the comments and I will put it on my list. Best of luck to you.